Coming up today on Houston Life, it is Wine Club Wednesday, poured by H-E-B. Ahead of International Chardonnay Day, we are tasting 2 bottles from 2 different regions.
And looking to brighten up your home for the summer, Lauren Kelly is learning how to create a sunflower wreath with an easy tutorial from Arcadia Floral and Home Decor.
Wow, those are
beautiful.
Huge. Plus, a look at the new hit Netflix docuseries High on the Hog. Find out how 2 local restaurants are helping to transform America.
And we are catching up with Grammy Award-winning singer Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child about her new memoir and why she chose to open up about her mental health. All that and more is happening today on Houston Life.
Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to Houston Life. Today is May 26th, 2021. I'm Derek Shore.
And I'm Courtney Savala. It's good to be Wednesday. It's really good for it to be Wine Club Wednesday.
Wine Club Wednesday, and the weather is looking up, and it's nice to be back in studio. You know, of course, yesterday, KPRC2 spent the afternoon honoring our military heroes as part of our month-long celebration of those giving back to our community in a pretty big way.
It was fantastic. We had such a great time here. We missed you, but you did great at the Lone Star Flight Museum.
And the Lone Star Flight Museum, we had been down there a few years ago before they landed. Get it? Landed.
Got it.
In their new home. They used to be down in Galveston. But if you're thinking about a place to take the family, Memorial Day really is the perfect time to go out there. But we have people visit from out of state, or at least before COVID we did. I'm sure those visitors will resume again. But it is such a great place. People always think of like going to NASA and the other things. NASA's great as well. Lone Star Flight Museum is so easy. There's easy parking, and the amount of history there, the relics from the past, and just the personal effects from veterans like the guy we met, Ed, yesterday. You'll be so glad if you get a chance to go down. Truly, it's a great place to visit.
And it's great because you can plan your visit ahead of time. You can see what's available for the whole family, kids. It's really wonderful. And we do have a look back at some of the great moments you may have missed from yesterday's show.
It still is a special day because we are paying such great honor and respect to our military and our veterans that have served this country so well.
This spot really honors the memory of so many people who have served in so many different wars. And it's not just about the aircraft here, it's also about the personal relics, the clothing, the uniforms, the medals that you can find inside the museums.
Just kind of share that feeling and make sure that everyone remembers what Memorial Day weekend really is all about.
I love the fact that I can go in other people's times of need and kind of be that tree, you know, that solidifies and helps them regrow.
This display case has several of your awards that you received while in the service and the scarf you were wearing, Ed, when you were hit. So the holes that we're seeing in that scarf and in that jacket, those are the result of being hit that day you were flying the aircraft.
Yes, sir.
I mean, by millimeters, you survived.
Absolutely, just by the grace of God.
So great. I want to hang out with him. Did you have a blast?
You know what? Ed Cleric is an amazing guy. 98 years old. His birthday was on April 8th. And what's interesting is he hasn't been in a B-17 bomber since the war ended. I mean, since 1945. And he's going to go up on June 19th at 10 a.m. down there at the Lone Star Flight Museum. He's actually going to climb on board a B-17. He's not piloting it this time, but he's going to take a ride, which I think is such a cool full circle moment. But you know what's interesting, as soon as the show was over yesterday, we were walking out of that exhibit. And Ed, who was there with his wife, he was reflecting on his time in the war, and he was saying, you know, the planes back then, they were so easy to fly. These newfangled planes with all the electronics, you know, so just to hear him say that it was easy to fly, and he flew so many bombing missions. Again, it was his 18th bombing mission where they were actually hit. An engine was on fire. They were essentially, you know, making an emergency landing, and he didn't even realize until he landed that his neck had been grazed, and the scarf he was wearing, because, you know, it's so cold up there at that altitude, the scarf had holes in it. So the number of stories he has and the fact that he was able to continue his legacy. He went to Rice University on the GI Bill. He just has such an incredible story. I wish we could have spoken for hours, but I know I'm going to see him again.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm so glad he was part of the show as well. And to see the full stories from yesterday, head to HoustonLife.tv to learn more.
Yeah, and if you know anyone who's giving back to our community, we want to know about it. Just click the Be a Guest link on our website. How's that? And let us know. Okay, so speaking of flying, you've probably all seen these news reports, and we talked about it a few weeks ago on the show. Typically, during any given year, the FAA records, you know, a few hundred incidents of unruly passenger behavior.
Yes.
And we spoke about how that number, lucky for all of us, is skyrocketing.
It sure is.
Because people are horrible, right? So did you hear about this woman who was recently arrested and charged with a felony battery, 28-year-old woman, because she assaulted a flight attendant and knocked 2 of her teeth out.
Oh, my word.
She knocked 2 of her teeth out.
Over what?
Well, those details are not totally clear, but this is the official statement from the FAA. The passenger repeatedly ignored standard in-flight instructions and became verbally and physically abusive upon landing.
Unbelievable.
The full article is on clicktohouston.com in case you want to read about it. But here's the thing. The flight attendants, they're there to do their jobs. They're not just serving drinks. They're there to protect you and save your life in case of an emergency. And the FAA, the federal agency that regulates air travel, they're the ones making the rules about masks and all of that. So the thing is, if you're going to fly, you shouldn't be surprised you have to wear a mask. Sorry, people, no one likes wearing them. You got to wear them.
Rules aren't just for some people. They're for all of us. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you don't like it, don't fly. Ride in your own car.
Yeah, well,
you know?
so many of these incidents, too. The FAA has reported 2,500 incidents so far this year. Southwest Airlines alone, like 477 incidents within the past month alone. More often than not, it has to do with wearing a mask. And this is what I don't get, too. It's been so disappointing to see, like, the good that has come out of the pandemic. That's very heartwarming. But disappointing, I think, to see people who are like, well, I'm not wearing a mask because I just don't want to. Okay, well, how about showing a little respect for your fellow beings?
Yeah, well,
fellow man.
This is another story I'm sure that's going to get a lot of heat.
What do you have?
Y'all, listen to this. So the airlines are considering weighing us passengers. Weighing. We got to weigh in. Maybe. This story is trending online. The FAA is apparently considering weighing passengers at the gate. This is because of concerns that planes may be overloaded and climbing obesity rates.
Oh, wow.
So FAA standards increase the weight of an average adult passenger and one carry-on bag. That's at 190 in the summer, 195 pounds in the winter. This is how they kind of figure out, this is what they average. But with rising obesity rates, this is an issue.
Well, at least I'm not the only one gaining more weight in the winter.
Look, we're all puffy, okay?
I mean, 5 pounds, that is conservative. I think I gain more than that.
I mean, again, it reminds me of like the girdle story that my mom tells when she was a flight attendant, how they would line up, the females would all line up and the male bosses would have to touch their behinds to make sure that they were wearing their girdles.
But when it comes to like a safety standpoint, though, you know, I always think of Aaliyah. Do you remember Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash in '99 because the crew had overloaded like the audio equipment and all of that, and they were like, no, we gotta go. I mean, planes, there is a certain weight limit, right? There's got to be another way they can figure this out besides weighing people. You know, car makers, though, I think it is true that the American public, we are getting sort of larger as the years go by. Car makers are now making seats bigger, changing spaces between the steering wheel and the seat to accommodate for larger drivers. So it is no secret that, you know, perhaps the American public is getting larger, but wow, the weighing process, it just seems like that's kind of a terrible... I mean, it certainly can't happen at the gate like
I have a
luggage,
stat,
right?
though, speaking of, you know, the increase, real quickly, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the obesity rate in the U.S. was 42.4% in 2017-2018.
Wait, break that down for me.
That it basically went up.
It did go up,
It went up, yeah. And that's the most recent data that they have. But Yeah, I mean, it's showing us on this curve.
Well, how about this? Why don't the airlines just remove a couple rows of seats and give us all a little more space instead of weighing people? How about that?
And that's less passengers.
Well, but it would reduce the weight.
I know. Leave it to us. We're going to solve all the problems. Still to come, from toilet paper to sanitizer to lipstick and teeth whiteners.
Oh.
The products that are surging post-pandemic.
I have some of those things at home. Plus, Lauren Kelly is showing us the latest summer flower trends, sure to brighten up your home. That's when Houston Life returns in just 2 minutes.
Well, you guys, we're talking all things bumblebees and sunflowers and bright colors and more. The perfect way to decorate your home with some fresh flowers when Houston Life returns. Don't move.
Okay, guys, think about it. A year ago, what were you looking for? I got it. Clorox wipes, toilet paper,
wine,
muffin pans for your banana bread, tie-dye making kits. Remember? I'm going down memory lane here.
Puzzles, art projects, all the things that we thought were so exciting and now we can't stand.
Can't stand looking at them, but we bought them all, and now those are all sitting on the shelves because that is not what we are buying post-pandemic. You want to know what we're buying post-pandemic?
I think I have a few guesses based on what you said before commercial break.
Okay, so makeup, cosmetics, because we've gone, ladies, men, whoever, we've gone a year plus without wearing makeup because of our masks and lipstick, skyrocketing sales for that. Teeth whitener, there has also been a surge in demand for deodorant. Apparently some were not wearing the deodorant during the pandemic.
Well, some people don't wear it even without a pandemic.
Yeah, also swimsuits, luggage because they're planning their trips, and alarm clocks because we didn't set one a year ago, and also condoms.
Oh, we were not allowed to say that word growing up in Utah.
No, very bad.
Yeah, it was illegal to say that in school, at least. Well, I think that is a sign of the times.
I mean, a sign of the times. There's also a shortage right now, or a spike, not necessarily a shortage, a spike in pricing for diapers. So I also think there's a baby boom here that we're dealing with, right? Because hospitals are showing, record numbers of babies being born post-pandemic and all of these things. So now there's like this price increase on diapers. Things are happening.
Interestingly, though, toilet paper demand has declined a bit.
Declined. You can find those Clorox wipes everywhere now,
You can find things that you need. Well, we want to hear from you. What have you gone without during the pandemic that you'll probably start buying again? Visit our Houston Life Facebook page. Join the conversation, and we will have some of your comments later on.
That's right.
Okay, so if you're looking for a beautiful splash of color at home, a simple way to brighten up your space is, of course, with some fresh flowers.
So gorgeous. This smells so good. Today, Lauren Kelly is getting the dirt, I like that, on some of the latest summer flower trends at Arcadia Floral and Home Decor in Missouri City. This is a playground, Lauren.
You guys, if you have not been into this, I'm telling you, it is an adult playground from starting when you walk in all the way around the store. It's magnificent. It smells magnificent. And here to talk more about colors and summer trends with flowers is owner and creative director. She's no stranger to Houston Life. Kim To is joining us. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim To.
And we were just talking about the colors, right? When you think of summer, you think of sunshine, and you think of yellow. Explain to us about the yellow summer trends.
Yellow is very bright and cheerful. It's also the color of the year of 2021.
I didn't know that.
And we use that for decoration for the outdoor party, like graduation or birthday parties.
Okay, okay.
Also, we have nautical.
I know that nautical is always a really big trend, especially coming in with the summer. The beach times in Galveston, right? I see the seashells and the flamingos. What are some other really popular pieces to put in floral designs?
They like more like a turquoise color because that's very popular, and then accent a touch of coral.
I love how in the store you can create your own floral designs, or you can actually have Kim create something for you, right? It's not, you can really customize anything, but we can't forget about Memorial Day also coming up. So we want to show off the red, white, and blue floral decorations for Memorial Day as well, right?
Yes, we have red, white, and blue as a patriotic color for Memorial Weekend in July the 4th. It's very fun to use that decoration for the party also.
You know, when you walk into a house and it has some bright decorations and floral designs, you can't help but be put into a good, happy holiday and even summertime mood, right, Kim?
Yes.
And coming up in a little bit later on in the show, watch this. You see this? This is a beautiful summertime sunflower wreath. We're going to get a tutorial on how to make that. I cannot wait. I'm going to hang it up in my house. I'm going to show you guys how to do it a little bit later on. Derek and Courtney, back to you in studio.
Can't wait to see it, Lauren. Thanks so much. Still ahead, our virtual wine tasting. We're going to meet 2 wine club members and get to know them a little bit better over a glass of wine.
Sounds good to me. And after the break, the one and only Michelle Williams. There she is. She's going to join us with more on her brand new memoir when Houston Life returns. Don't go away.
As a member of Destiny's Child, Michelle Williams found fame and success that couldn't stop her struggles, though, with mental health.
Yeah, Williams now shares the lessons she learned in her own battle with depression in her brand new memoir, Checking In. She joins us now with more on her story. Michelle, it is so great to see you. And what I think is incredible, first of all, congrats on going public with this story. But as a member of Destiny's Child and being in the public eye for as long as you have been, it's really incredible, I think, for a lot of people to find out that you were struggling. Tell us when these struggles began and when you realized there was a problem.
I would say for me, when I kind of realized something wasn't quite feeling like myself, was actually back in the 7th grade. So that was a long time ago. And so it kind of debunks people saying, oh my God, Hollywood made her depressed. No, it was something that I just didn't have language for, starting way back around the age of 12 years old.
It's really incredible that you're able to pinpoint it. And I think what happens, you know, there's so many celebrities like yourself. Justin Bieber has come out with his struggles of mental health. And I think where we are today, it is a little bit easier to talk about because we have resources, but it's still, mental health still has that sort of stigma attached to it. And we need to get rid of that. We need to make our youth feel like it's okay to come forward and know that they're in a safe place. To get some help. Good.
That's so good. I think for me, it's been easy to talk about since I think I publicly really first disclosed it back in either at the end of 2012 or at the beginning of 2013. So between 8 and 9 years ago, I can see a difference in how much it's being talked about versus back then, me thinking, oh Lord, what did I just do? What did I just disclose?
Okay, so just to sort of give us a little bit more of a timeline, Michelle, and to talk about some of the things that you were experiencing, you describe anger, irritability, sadness, and even in 2018, I mean, I remember this was a big deal when you and Kelly and Beyonce appeared at Coachella. You had just gotten engaged. Any bystander watching you would have thought, oh my gosh, Michelle, like she is on top of her game. I think it's heartbreaking to read that that same year you were actually planning your own funeral.
Ooh, that's pretty heavy. That's definitely pretty heavy. And that's when I knew I needed to get more intensive treatment because I was getting a little too comfortable with those thoughts. And I wasn't feeling safe with myself. But at the end of the day, I knew that that's not what I wanted to do, but I was getting way too comfortable with the thoughts. And I think the more you think about something, the more you might actually end up doing it.
And you voluntarily checked yourself into a mental facility for help. That's where you got help. I love the title of your book, Checking In, Conversations with Michelle Williams. And checking in, those 2 words mean so much to you. Explain that.
Absolutely. Back in 2018, I voluntarily took myself to a treatment facility. And it was within that period, you know, I'm always trying to get to the root of something. And what was I not doing? Not necessarily blaming myself, but because I've been in therapy before. So what happened? What was the breakdown? And so even to take back the humiliation or the embarrassment of checking in, we created the 3 pillars, checking in with myself. I wasn't checking in with myself. I would be self-aware, but I would just dismiss it. I wasn't checking in with others. I didn't tell anybody. And I wasn't checking in with God. I wasn't keeping it real with him either to say, you know, God, I'm overwhelmed. I need you.
And Michelle, I think it really is incredible, not only that you have had the courage to go public with your story, which is very painful, I'm sure, for a lot of people. Again, as Courtney mentioned, that stigma around mental illness still exists. You have a virtual book tour coming up, and it's so great because you are using your story to essentially reach out and help other people. So tell us more about the book tour, because there are a number of special guests as well.
Thank you, Derek, for the question. Tonight starts the first night of my Checking In virtual book tour. Tonight's guest, Chloe Bailey of the amazing duo Chloe and Hallie, and Dr. Caroline Leaf, a close friend of mine who's a neuroscientist. It starts tonight at 7 o'clock. Meet and greet is at 6 o'clock if you bought a VIP ticket. And one ticket, though, it gets you into all 6 conversations. Taraji P. Henson, Tamar Braxton, Devon Franklin, Dr. Anita Phillips, Lecrae, Daryl Walsh, Chandler Moore, my friends that are joining me for some amazing, intense, much needed conversations.
Michelle, I think you're speaking to a lot of people. I can say that putting your face out there, the book, I think there's so many people that say, gosh, I wish somebody would check in with me. Or maybe there's, somebody that we should check in with. What's the best way to start that conversation?
Well, Courtney, it takes just to get out of your way, get out of your head, and just take a chance. And most of us know if a person is safe to talk to. And then there are times we don't discern correctly and we kind of bear it all to the wrong person. That's happened before. But hopefully a safe person, you can go to a safe person and say, hey, I don't feel like myself. I'm not okay. And hopefully that safe person can say, how can I best serve you? I'll hold your hand. Let's do some research. Maybe we can get you into some therapy, which, by the way, is the best route to go for someone to help you process pain, trauma, transitions. Nothing is wrong for getting another ear and some help for some strategy for how to go on to have a great quality of life, which everybody has a right to. My heart goes out to anybody that thinks that they're too out there or they're in too much pain to be served, because you're not.
And Michelle, I feel like your story, I love what you just said. It's such an inspiration. I feel like your story really underscores that none of us, we never really know what another person is going through. You look so fantastic. On just an unrelated note, I have to say it's been 21 years since I last saw you in person. You look younger and happier and healthier than you ever have. How are you feeling today?
Woo! Thank you so much. I can truly, truly say I'm not hiding behind a mask. I really feel great. I've had 2 bonus years of really doing a lot of work. In 2019, I decided to take that year off. I worked maybe 4 times in 2019. 2020 was a bonus year because we all had to be on lockdown anyway, so everything that I needed to do was virtual. But it was amazing. In 2021, we're still kind of home, kind of getting out there. And so it's been really, to me, 2 bonus years of really getting some intense treatment, some intense care. And I'm feeling amazing, probably the best that I've ever been, because I've been able to identify. And then guess what? I also had to do the hard work of eliminating and getting rid of anything and anybody that just does not serve my wants,
right?
Yeah.
Ooh, come on, Courtney.
Yes, girl, you can use it.
Love that.
Michelle Williams, thank you so much for your time. The book is called Checking In, Conversations with Michelle Williams. Thanks so much for sharing your story and for doing.
Thank you so much, Courtney and Derek. It was a pleasure talking to y'all today.
We'll see
Houston,
you again soon.
I love you, by the way.
I know, we love you back, girl.
Come visit us sometime.
Of course, I will.
All right, have a good day. We'll see you a little bit later. And to our viewers, if you would like more info on Michelle's book and to purchase tickets for that virtual book tour, we do have a link on the Scene on Houston Life section of our website, houstonlife.tv.
Beautiful, inside and out.
Isn't she?
Oh, I love her.
I can't believe it's been 20
now.
years. That was half our lives ago.
Unbelievable.
Shining bright.
Okay, Joe Sam is standing by now with a cool spotlight for Houston's food scene. Okay, give it to us, Joe.
Yeah, a great interview there with Michelle. Yeah, we have some great things coming up here in Houston. I'm speaking with the host of a new Netflix docuseries, High on the Hog, and how it's spotlighting some of Houston's favorite restaurants. And we'll get a check of what's coming up for the news at 4. Houston Life is back in 2 minutes.
Well, welcome back to Houston Live. Courtney and Derek back with you, 3:30 on this Wednesday, hump day.
Halfway through the week, we can do this. All right, earlier we asked you, what have you gone without during the pandemic that you'll probably start buying or doing again? Here's some of what you had to say, starting with Jessica. Eating out. We have been getting takeout, but it is not the same. You know what? So true. She looks awfully a lot like Dan Levy.
And Bailey writes in, concert tickets. I'm with you, girlfriend. Going to Nashville to see Greta Van Fleet in August. I miss concerts.
You know, so do I. And we have a great concert lineup coming up in H-Town over the next year. Julie writes in, spray tans. Oh, is that an actual still of her?
It looks like Chevy Chase.
I think it's, what's his name from Friends?
Becky writes in, Astros tickets. Yes, girl. They need a win tonight, though. Woo.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, let's check in with Andy, Christine, and Frank for a look at what they have coming up at the top of the hour at 4 o'clock. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Great to see you.
So far, so good. The sun is out today.
I know, gosh. It's a game changer, right?
Yeah, it puts you in a great mood, doesn't it?
It's a little steamy out there, but hey, we are not going to complain, Frank. I mean, it's
It is
nice
such
to see
a
the
different
sun.
day today.
Yeah.
for the weatherman, too.
We've earned it, right?
That's right. We have. In fact, it's warm and steamy. These temperatures, 89. Southeast winds, the humidity is generally 60, 65%. So if you've been outside, you don't need me to tell you that, but just keep that in mind. A scattered shower or two, you squint, you can see one up to the north and widen this out a little bit. That's really the story across Southeast Texas. Just a typical summertime pattern in the heat of the day. The ground, as you know, is well saturated. Across the state, it's nice and quiet. We look back out to the west, and this is the front that moves in as we head into our Memorial Day weekend. So we'll talk about that coming up. In the meantime, tomorrow looks a lot like today, so enjoy it. A little summertime weather as we move right into Thursday. You can see it's quiet throughout the day, maybe a scattered shower and another warm one. So here's what we're tracking. A warm, dry one as we continue into this evening. Some patchy fog overnight, that's a possibility. And then that weekend shower chance, and it's a big weekend. So I will time that all out for you straight ahead at 4 o'clock.
Very good. We'll see you then, Frank. Thank you. And here's a look at some of the other stories we're following for you at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We have seen this story unfold all day. Tragedy in San Jose, California, where an employee opened fire at a rail yard. Multiple people have died, including the gunman. What we are now learning about the shooter and the situation there.
It's the big question ever since the first case of the coronavirus surfaced. Where did it come from? Coming up at 4, health reporter Haley Hernandez is taking a closer look at a plan by President Biden's administration to get that answer.
And with the warmer weather comes an increased risk of being bitten by ticks. What you need to know to protect yourself from them and the risk of Lyme disease. So covering a full gamut today at 4 o'clock, you guys.
Oh, ticks are serious business.
Yeah.
You want to avoid those. All right, guys, we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Okay, guess what? It is happy hour right here in our Houston Live studios. In today's wine club, poured by H-E-B, we are highlighting 2 Chardonnay gold medal winners.
They're delicious. They tell me. We can't wait to try them. We do have our H-E-B wine specialist standing by. They will join us a little later on for a tasting. But first, we're introducing you to Wine Club members Virginia and Craig, zooming in from City Center. Welcome to you both. And tell us a bit about yourselves, because I understand you've been dating for nearly 3 years and you met online, which is fantastic.
Go ahead. Yes, we have. It's been wonderful. Blessed.
Okay,
I love it.
I see those
Okay.
smiles on your faces.
I know, dating
We
for
met
nearly...
online like most people do now.
I know, that's the thing, right? But it worked out. That's awesome. Dating for nearly 3 years. And you both, Craig, you're involved in the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Is that right?
Yes, I'm a proud member, 15 years, volunteer with the Wine Sales Committee, and just a great, part of the rodeo. We're the second largest contributor to the Rodeo Scholarship Fund for the kids, and just a wonderful bunch of folks on there, and we're so proud that we can, do what we do to raise money for the rodeo and the scholarship.
Well, something tells me that Courtney and I have stumbled past you a number of times in that wine garden. I'm just putting that out there. Virginia, so you are from Houston, and I understand in your free time you like to cook, drink some wine, go to local sporting events.
Missed a lot. Well, we've been drinking and eating a lot at home, but on the sporting events, we really have been just missing it a lot. So I'm excited that I don't know if it's tonight or earlier, but that they're going to have a full house at the Astros.
Yeah, I think it's tonight. It's a big game for sure. Yesterday's was big as well, but we need our Astros fans to be louder than those other fans. So exactly. I do know that you guys are big Houston Life viewers, and during the lockdown, this is what you guys watched all the time, right?
I watched you. Y'all were both. I think you were doing it remotely. I think weren't you like doing it from one of your rooms?
Yes. 68 shows from home, in case anybody's counting.
It was funny.
I always loved when my kids busted in the door. Mom, do you know where the tape is? What about cookies?
Exactly.
Cookies?
No, you were living the life that we were all living.
I know.
We are so glad to have you both as viewers. And Craig, I understand you have spent a lot of time traveling to wine country or different wine regions around the United States. We saw some great photos of the two of you together. So we're going to expect like pro opinions here in today's wine tasting. We do want to mention, though, you also both stay busy hanging out with an 8-year-old grandson. Is that right?
Sure do. I just can't get enough of that old guy. You know, the people always say that, you know, you love your kids more than anything in the world, and then you have a grandkid and you realize that wasn't true.
Well, you know what? We love honest people. So I think Craig and Virginia, we're going to get along very nicely. So why don't you stay right there, because after the break, our wine specialist will walk us through a tasting of award-winning bottles we can all buy locally.
Thank you, Derek.
We have been hanging out with Craig and Virginia, members of our wine club poured by H-E-B.
They are so much fun. We are now joined by H-E-B wine specialist Christina Cuomo, who is sharing 2 Chardonnay Gold Medal winners from the 2021 Rodeo Uncorked International Wine Competition ahead of International Chardonnay Day, which is tomorrow. Christina, welcome to Houston Life. And I know we're doing white wine today. You say that Bubbles, some of your favorites, so that's great news to us.
Yes, I'm a big Bubbles girl. I love sparkling wines from out of Napa, out of Sonoma, of course, classic champagne. So I'm a big Bubbles girl, but right now we're tasting some nice Chardonnays that we brought from all around the world. We have 2 different ones. We have the first one, the Veramonte Chard, which is out of Casablanca Valley in Chile. And if you go ahead, take a sip. And right off the bat, you're going to get some nice tangerine and grapefruit notes with a little bit of a toastier finish. And that's kind of typical of the Casablanca region in Chile. That's what they're known for. A little bit more minerality, a lot more refreshing, crisp white wine. What did y'all think of it?
You said grapefruit. It definitely has that sort of tartiness. I don't know if that's even a word.
Very
but
good. Very good.
Yeah. But I think it's very nice. I get why the Chardonnay is a pick, because it's so hot, but yet it's light and cool.
Yeah, and is it true, Christina, that this follows like all the organic protocols? So in terms of like sustainable farming, this hits the mark?
They are, Veramonte is a sustainable winery out there in Chile, and they follow all the sustainable practices.
Makes it taste even better.
What's great is that this wine is around $10 at H-E-B. Not going to break the bank, and you don't feel bad about maybe opening a whole bottle and finishing it with you and your significant other.
When do we ever feel bad about that?
Yeah, there's no guilt on Houston Life.
Just kidding. Craig and Virginia, what do you think?
I loved it. I actually do.
Very, very crisp, and yes, a lot fruit forward on that.
And I know that you guys, both of you are red drinkers, so this one you're saying you like.
But when it's
Absolutely.
hot, you can't drink red wine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Out by the pool on a nice day, that's a great way to start your early day drinking.
And fruit forward, Craig. That's, I mean, you sound like a pro. Okay, Christina, let's talk about this next wine, another white. Tell us what we need to know.
So this is J Vineyards. It's out of Sonoma. It's actually tri-appellated, which means it comes from 3 different appellations out in California, Sonoma being the main one. With this one's going to have a lot more toastier, oaky, more vanilla notes to it. You get more of a ripe golden apple, a little more ripe peach, and then, like I said, when you taste it, it'll have a little bit of a longer finish, and it's going to sit heavier on the mouth. This one is meant to be a little bit more fuller body. So if you do like your cabs, you might enjoy this one a little bit more.
You know, it's really interesting, Christina, that you just mentioned it has a longer finish, because it does, compared to this first wine.
Totally different.
It sits, like once you take a sip, it's sort of gone. This one sits on your tongue and you continue experiencing it.
Good point. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what's great. It's from the different regions, you get completely different styles of the same grape. And that's what makes that grape so versatile.
Craig and Virginia?
They're both great wines, and you can find this one for around $25 at H-E-B. Just classic kind of Chardonnay for Sonoma.
This is a very classic, the smell of it as well. Craig and Virginia, what do you think? We have about 20 seconds left.
Yeah, again, very good points about the Chardonnay and how versatile and different the grape can be in any one area or vineyard. And yeah, just
And it does have a little bite at the end where it does, like you said, it kind of lingers on. I like that.
Yeah.
Buttery.
Nothing wrong with a little bite. Craig and Virginia, best of luck to you in your relationship, in your travels. Cheers. And we'll see you again very soon. And Christina, we'll see you at that Buffalo Heights location of H-E-B.
That's right. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Good to visit you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.
And if you would like to join our Houston Life Wine Club, poured by H-E-B, just visit our website, HoustonLife.tv, if you'd like to register. You will have access to exclusive giveaways, and you'll even have a chance to be part of these virtual tastings like the one we just did.
And a reminder, you can find today's featured wines at your local H-E-B. Both of these wines, again, gold medal winners, reserve class champion at the Houston Rodeo, uncorked. So pick them up. Let us know how you like it.
Drink up.
Cheers to that. Let's send things over now to Joe Sam, who's standing by with a really cool Netflix project. Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys, that's right. So food, community, culture, resiliency. Based on Jessica B. Harris' award-winning book, High on the Hog, traces the moving story of African survival and triumph through the food that has knit generations together and helped define the American kitchen. I spoke with the host of this new Netflix docuseries as he followed the delicious cuisine from Africa to Texas.
Stephen, it is so great to have you here. It's such a pleasure. Watching this show really took me back through everything I grew up and hearing from my grandmother, the stories, the traditions, the food, the taste, the smell, everything just brought me right back to my childhood. So I appreciate you for bringing High on Hog to everyone here.
High on the Hog really, in its origins, is a story that is about enslaved people not having access to the premium cuts of meat or pork. And instead, even though we were the ones preparing, slaughtering, and so on, we were left to eat the scraps, the intestines, the less desirable parts of the animal.
It was special to watch. It was really special to see that. And something else that was special was you being here in Houston, Texas, showcasing some of the great places that have such a community-driven mission and objective to what they're about. You were at Lucille's, you were at Gatton Barbecue. We have Juneteenth coming up here in Houston, and I know that's going to be special for them being there and seeing that they're going to be showcased on their series. Talk about how you experienced that and what you've learned from Juneteenth being here and hearing about how Texas was the very last state to hear about the proclamation.
You know, Texas has such a unique history and such an important history in the U.S., which is, of course, connected, but in many ways, kind of separate because it's Texas from the experience of a lot of other African Americans who found their way here in the 17th, 18th century. And I think as far as Juneteenth goes, that story is one that increasingly has become more prevalent in popular culture. And so I'm really glad that on a scale of this size that we get to, first of all, credit Texas and Galveston and Houston for this emancipation story and emancipation tradition.
Absolutely, and we were pleased to have you here. Stephen, again, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. High on the Hog, again, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, High on the Hog, it releases today on Netflix, and you can pay particular attention to the episode 4, which was shot right here in the Lone Star State. I'll have more information about the new docuseries on our website, HoustonLife.tv. Y'all already know that I love food, I love cooking, so not only does this series showcase all of that amazing food, that soul food, but it puts a lot of soul into the history and the traditions that go along with it.
And it beautifully shot as well. I mean, it just brings you in. I want to see more. Really great, Joe.
You want to eat more, too.
Well, that too.
Extra
Thanks so
5
much.
pounds. Thanks, Joe. Now let's check back in with Lauren Kelly, who is showing us how to create some beautiful flower arrangements just in time for summer. Hey, Lauren.
That's right, it's all about the bright sunflower for the summer, and we're going to show you with these materials how to make this beautiful sunflower summer wreath that you can hang up wherever your little heart desires when Houston Life returns in just 2 minutes. Here today in Missouri City at Arcadia Floral Home Decor, and the store is magnificent. I'm here with the owner and the creative director, Kim Cho. I have to tell our viewers about what we figured out. We both have the same middle name. Tell everybody what our middle name is.
Rose.
We both have the same, it's like flowers. We're meant to be here making this today, and we're talking about summer trends coming up, how to get these beautiful fresh flowers inside your home and the colors that come along with it. And you are going to show us now the tutorial on how to make a summer sunflower wreath.
Yes.
Okay, what materials do we have?
We need to have a willow 24 inches wreath.
Okay.
Chicken white 6 yard long.
Okay.
The ribbon is really nice, bendable. And
Okay.
then 6 yard. Actually, this is like a 6 feet long sunflower, and then the bumblebees, ladybugs. Some ribbon is real fun, and the burners.
Now, you said bumblebees are very trendy during the summer. Anything bright and yellow in the nautical themes as well, right? And the Memorial Day themes as well. But for this one specifically, it's all about the yellow, because yellow is bright.
Yeah, yellow bright, not with that, because this is yellow. It's yellow and gray. It's a years of the 2021.
Okay, that's awesome.
Year, yes.
Kim, what are we going to do with all of these things?
You take this ribbon, it's really nice, it's bendable. You make it like a loop, and you wrap around the wreath. So
what I asked you, Kim,
the wire to tie into this.
Okay, that's one of these.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when you tie this into here, you...
And it stays just like that, quite simply. I asked you if you needed.
bendable.
Yeah, I asked you if you needed tape, and you said you didn't need tape because these things bend so easily.
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to essentially go all the way around.
So you continue to do around like a scallop design.
Okay.
So actually, it looked like this.
Okay, that's going to be the finish with this around it. Okay, and then would you place this on top of that?
You take the sunflower garland, you make a circle, and you tie it on the top of the wreath like this.
Okay.
And then see
you would use some more of these
You're
ties.
very helpful.
Okay. It makes it so much simpler with these because you can really attach it anywhere you need.
Or anything at all. You just tie it in.
Then you have these decor.
And then I love the burners. The tubers is really fun. You just insert this in the middle. Of the, and see, it's already wire already.
Again, the wire is very simple.
Just twist it. The reason you do this, you can recycle, which means you can change it seasonal and make it more to the holiday theme
Wonderful.
season. And then you take the ladybugs.
Okay.
In 2 different...
of course, 2 different ladybugs.
Yes.
You can put them throughout.
And then you put this in and you twist
You've
it.
made it look so quick and simple, and for people who want to see the finished product, this is actually what it looks like. It's so wonderful, and I feel like as you do it, you can put your own personal touches on each of your wreaths. Thank you so much, Kim, for showing us your beautiful store and this beautiful wreath. I have all the materials you need and the instructions on how to make your very own beautiful summertime sunflower wreath at HoustonLife.tv. Derek and Courtney, got to toss it back to you guys in studio now.
It is super
Look at
pretty.
this.
It's bright and cheery, and please tell Kim how much much we love her. Huge, huge fans. It's a must visit.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
for sure.
Lauren. After the break, a look at what's coming up on tomorrow's show, including an A-list actor you don't want to miss.
And as we head to break, let's check in with Kevin Frazier for a look at what's coming up on Entertainment Tonight. Hey, Kevin.
Derek and Courtney tonight on ET, a victory in court for Brad Pitt. What we're learning about Angelina's fight for custody. Plus, Chris Pratt gives us an exclusive scoop on the set of his new movie, The Tomorrow War. You don't want to miss it. That's tonight at 6:30 right here on KPRC2. Now sit tight. Houston Life will be right back.
Tomorrow in Houston Life, fly kicks and impressive art inside Foot Locker's new community store. Y'all, this is in the heart of the 3rd Ward, and it's amazing.
Okay, wait a minute. How have I not heard about that?
Well, you will tomorrow.
Gotta stop by. Gotta watch Houston Life tomorrow. Also, Houston's own Dennis Quaid is chatting about his brand new Netflix film, Blue Miracle. You don't want to miss this. This is based on an incredible true story. And Courtney, you've always said there is always a Houston connection. Dennis Quaid, he has never forgotten his roots, and I am a huge, huge fan.
I know. How great was it to chat with Michelle Williams today?
Michelle Williams, I know. I truly mean it. I think she looks happier and healthier and better than ever. It's great, too, that she's gone public with her story. I think she'll actually really, well, potentially save lives by going public with her
therapeutic
depression.
For sure. Beautiful inside and out. Thanks for joining us today. Cheers to Wine Club Wednesday.
Cheers to Wine Club Wednesday. I think we're allowed to clink now. We're both fully vaccinated.
And we're sitting closer together than we ever have before.
Oh, that feels
God,
good.
that felt good.
When is the last time we did that? A year and a half ago?
At least.
Love a good toast and a good Chardonnay. All right, we're going to toss it over to Keith and Christine in Studio A. Oh, it's Andy. That's right. Hey, Andy.
Today.
Good to see you both.
You know, it's great to see you guys. That cling just has like a nice extra tune.
It does. They're two peas in a pod,
You
aren't
really
they?
are. You really are. Cheers to you guys and have a wonderful afternoon.
Cheers to you. I wish we had 4 glasses, but we don't.
It's okay. Maybe in an hour or so.
Okay.
Save some for us.
Please.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.